to our small business improvement channel. This is a channel where we talk matters small business, particularly areas that you could improve or areas that you need advice on. My name is Patrick. Today we're going to talk about one area of your business, especially if you are a retailer, an area of your business which is important. This is what holds a lot of your working capital. It is called the inventory or stock management area of your business. We are live on this session so that you can ask us questions. We want to hear your questions, want to see you type them. We want to respond live because we know your business owners, you're busy and you've got some pressing questions. So this is why we do it live. So we are Have a Go Business Systems Limited. And the area, like I said, that we're going to talk about is stock management. That is performance, how your stock is performing. Why do we come up with this topic? Because we are about halfway through this year, and the halfway point of the year is a good time to find out how various plans that you had set out in the beginning of the year are performing before we go into the second half or to the later half, the later months of the year. You want to get in control. You want to see how you've performed, get in control, and finish strongly. Finish the year even better than you had hoped to. So today we're looking at stock management.
Thank you for the introduction, Patrick. As Patrick has mentioned, today we are looking at stock performance and management, and we'll be glad to hear from you as well. Share in your questions, your thoughts, expectations for this specific live, so that we can learn together. So please share this with your colleagues and friends. Do not share the link on our profile, the scheduled one. Share this one that we are currently live, and then we can engage together. So Patrick is going to guide us even more into this topic, and he's going to give us a real life customer story in our context. So Patrick, you're welcome.
Here was a business, a small business that was operating as usual, every day, going through the same motions every day. But they found that they were struggling to find out, first of all, what's the value of their stock? Two, how the stock is moving.
Yes.
Three, why they are running out of items that are in higher demand. And at the same time, they don't know how much dead stock there is in the business. You see, the thing about dead stock is that it's holding your money. It's holding money that should ideally be liquidated and used to buy faster moving stock items. So there was no information, no data on what's happening in all these areas. And the business is still moving. It's still moving, but it's not performing well. We say it is underperforming. So what did they do and what did we do together with them? We introduced BORESHABiZ. That is the app or the platform where you manage your stock and other areas of your working capital and your finances much more easily, much more clearly, capturing much more data, because it is hard to keep all this data in your mind, or it's very hard to write all this data and at the same time run your business.
Sure.
So what did BORESHABiZ do? Quickly, it was possible to find out what is the stock value of the stock. Small business retailers hold so much proportion of their working capital in stock that you can't afford not to know how much the value of your stock is. So this small business owner could identify the value of money, working capital held in their stock. They could also progressively know how much of the stock is not moving. So it's dead. They could also avoid running out of stock that is in demand. And this all helped the business owner to manage more effectively. So here's what he said. He said, the item that we provided, the service that we provided is the eyes and the mind. The eyes and the mind of their business. So he is able to see through BORESHAbiZ what's happening in the business more clearly in real time and is able to make a decision faster. So this is what we want our small business owners to do, to be able to get this information as they need it. So this point in time in particular is halfway through the year. We want you to get back in control of the various areas of your business so that you can finish strong. And the one area that we're talking about today is stock, thinking of doing. So that is our example. I'll give a few other examples along the way. So
Thank you so much, Patrick.
yep.
So here is a poll, or here is a question to us viewers. How often do you review your stock performance? How often do you review? Is it every week? Is it monthly? Is it only when there's a problem, or you don't review it totally? So how often do you review your stock performance? Weekly, monthly, when there's a problem, or you don't review it? Share with us in the live chat session, and you're going to engage with you. We're going to appreciate so much.
Yes, correct. It's good to be frank about the situation you're in, because that way we can assist.
Yes.
We can help.
Yes.
And we're out there to help you solve your problem. And that's why I said we are live, we're listening, we're watching.
Yes.
Okay, so why the mid-year stock management and performance review? 6 months down the line, you need to see how is that important part of your business performing. Are you on track with what you set out to do? Or are you maybe even performing above your expectations, or are you below your expectations?
Yes.
Okay, 6 months, you have enough data, enough history. 6 months of monitoring and managing, monitoring and recording. 6 months is enough for you to see what has been happening in that area as well as other areas. And it's enough to think about that data, what that data tells you, what that performance tells you, so that you can identify what needs to improve, what needs to change, and then you can do something at the right time, or at least ahead of the few months that remain, the many months that remain towards the end of the year. You can do something about it and find out if you're going to finish the same way or better. Okay. There may also have been several things which have happened in those 6 months. There could be changes in tax. There could be changes in costs of transportation, for instance. There could be new plans that have come your way. You have seen an opportunity or opportunities and you want to grab them. You want to take advantages of those opportunities. So your plan needs to be different. So these are some of the reasons why you need to consider this middle of the year period as a good time. Of course, the middle of the year, as any other year, is a good time to measure, to track, because you can't improve something if you're not tracking it.
Yes.
We say that you can't improve what you don't measure. So it's an opportunity to get in there again and measure, see, count, value, right? So once you have those measurements, then you know you have enough basis on which to make changes. So welcome again. And tell us if there has been any changes this year.
Yes.
Do you feel there have been changes in your business this year, in your stock?
Yes.
Have you had a look? Do you think there are some changes?
Yes.
Today, we are going to look at the process of identifying whether there has been changes in your plans in that area of stock, and by how much. And we're going to use a process that is systematic so that you can follow it and quickly get to what you should do, the improvements that you should put in place between now and the end of the year.
Yes, and now that we know why a media stock management and performance review matters, as Patrick has asked, has there been a change this year? Has anything changed that has affected the way you buy or manage your business stock? Tell us in the comments, that is in the live chat, and we'll give you advice. So, has anything changed this year that has affected the way you buy or manage your business stock? Share with us.
So let's look back first of all and remember, or try and remember what this plan was that you had at the beginning of the year
Sure.
for managing your stock. So the stock management plan is basically you being proactive about this stock that you hold, what you want it to be like. How much value do you want it to lock in your business? What should be the rate of movement of turning over that stock? What should be contained in that stock? How much should you hold in stock? And when should you be restocking your business? Okay. Products that should be prioritized is also important. Are you still on, or have you prepared at the beginning of the year? Have you set out to focus on certain products? So the plan that you may have developed, I hope you did at the beginning of the year, should have identified some of those things. It's all about being proactive. If you want your business to reach a certain level, be proactive. How or what do you want it to achieve? And then you will find out how to achieve it. So that is the stock management plan. It should have answered you questions like, how much do you want to hold for this year? How fast should it move? What kind of products should you be dealing with? What are the profit margins that you should be focusing on? And which particular products should be having a higher priority? And then also, how often will you be reviewing the stock situation in your business? So here today, we're giving you a middle of the year opportunity to review how your stock is performing.
Okay, now we have heard from Patrick what we are reviewing today, which is the stock management plan, and it is the main topic that has brought us to this session. Now, do you currently have a stock management plan for your business? Did you prepare one either at the start of the year or in the middle? Have you prepared a plan? Tell us the comments that is in the live chat session, and be honest with us. Do you have a plan?
Yes.
If you don't, then we're going to have you have a plan. We have videos on how you can have a plan in your business.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Now we're going to look into the review process. This is the main session, and we have 3 steps how we're going to review our performance, that is stock performance and management. So Patrick, you can guide us through.
So the first question really is to look at the plan you had and have you achieved the targets? That is one of the questions, or one of the first questions you should ask. Have you achieved your targets? Have you achieved your targets of the number of times you should have turned over that stock, the number of times you have completed selling what you had and bought more and continued that process? So that should be one of the targets, and that should be one of the questions you should be asking. Is your stock turning over the way it should? Or is it turning over less often or less frequently, or indeed more slowly? So that's the first question. The second question, how much do you actually have in stock? How much stock is in your business? How do you answer that question? You actually do a stock count. You count the number of stock items in your business. It's also called the physical stock take. So if you haven't done this before, this is a good time. It's probably a quiet part of the year. it's time to just take 1 day or 2 days or maybe 3 days to actually count the number of stock items in each category. Count, write down, or document. If you have a platform, that's even better, of the stock items and the value that are in your stock. So the good thing about that is you finally, or after several months or weeks, you now have a real real clarity on exactly what stock are in your business. So I recommend you should do a stock take in the middle of the year and at the end of the year. Why is that? Because at the end of the year, that is the end point, but it is also the starting point of the following year. And then at the middle of the year, you can be able to see where the stock level is compared to the beginning of the year. So basically, you're doing a physical stock take every 6 months. So I have another example of a small business owner who had not taken or done a stock take since he started the business. So the business runs as usual. He can see he's got good stock, he's got a lot of stock. The question is how much of that stock or what is in that stock. It's not easy. If you've got about 5,000 stock items or 10,000 stock items, it's not easy to know. In fact, you can't know where every stock item is. So the problem becomes worse if you've gone in year after year after year without actually doing a physical stock take. So there are times when you find a business is closed for stock taking. They're actually taking that step that they want to be sure, they want to know for sure how much stock they physically count, the count and the value. And it's important. Like we said, you can't manage what you're not measuring. If you're not measuring, you don't know how to manage it. In fact, this particular business owner didn't know where some of the stock items are, or whether they're even still useful, whether they're past the market demand period. So it was difficult. It was difficult to know how much stock is there, not even know how much was dead. So this is a situation that a business owner can get involved in or can find themselves in, especially when they are just, they're busy. They're busy running their business.
Yes.
Okay. So physical stock count, then the actual value, establish the actual value. So if you have a platform, it's better that you can put the total number of each stock item and also have the value, add the value, because you want to know the total value of the stock.
Okay.
And once you know, in fact, if you know the value of the stock, at one point, you will want to know again. So you will have started a process that you never really want to leave. And you've also empowered yourself. Each time you come out knowing the value of stock, the total stock count and the value, each time you feel stronger. You can tell whether your business is growing, but is it growing the right way? Is it growing by accumulating lots of dead stock, or is it growing by accumulating lots of stock that are turning over very, very rapidly and giving you their profit the way you need to see? Okay. The next question, how much of the stock is actually dead stock? Okay, if you've gone through 6 months of the year and there are some stock items which haven't moved for those 6 months, they qualify as dead stock. Let's face it, they did not move in those 6 months, so they were dead during those 6 months, so they qualify to be dead stock. So which are the dead stock? How many are they? What's their value? Because that value is money that they're sitting on, they're holding from you using and applying it to the faster moving stock. So without knowing how much the stock you have, you can't know the next step to take, because it's easier to take a step to find out what to do. Like, for instance, you could bundle or give it a special offer, or you could actually repurpose. There are some stocks that can be repurposed. You could use it to build something else, or you could use it as an additive to something else. So it can be repurposed, bundled, or whatever avenue, whatever strategy you take, whatever adjustment you want to do or action you want to take, you can take an action once you know how much of that stock is dead stock. So the other question that you can explore is the stock in your business still relevant to the market? Is it still in line with what the market wants?
Yes.
So this is another time, this is another question you should challenge yourself. You should want to know whether this stock that you're holding is actually relevant to the market. Markets could have changed. What about your stock priorities? Maybe you have identified other new lines, other new categories that you want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe you have even moved to adopt them. You have new lines, and maybe they're not occupying enough of the stock that you want them to occupy. So this is a good time to find out these new lines that you want. Are they holding enough space or enough of the proportion of the stock that you are holding? So this gives you a chance to find out, are they holding enough? If you've seen they're giving you the good margin, or they're helping you to enter a new market space, which is a growing market space,
Yes.
then do you have enough of them? So this is why you do the mid-year review. You can find that out. Also, gives you a chance to find out about your suppliers. Are the suppliers still the best ones? Are they the ones giving you the best prices?
Mm-hmm.
Are they always on time to deliver you what you need?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they becoming progressively less easy or more difficult to work with? So this is a good time. Indeed, you could also check, are there other suppliers of the same product that could be having a better price? You see, all this is possible because you've been proactive about deciding to check what is the stock situation in your business.
Yes, and could you give us more examples of stock priorities our business owners could have? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, the entrepreneurs always want to keep exploring other areas that could improve their business. So,
Yes.
are you one of those that want to explore?
Yes.
Are you one of those that has suffered the area of dead stock and you don't know what to do? Well, if you are, this is for you. What we're talking about is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next step is to find out the causes of these gaps that you're seeing. The gaps that you're seeing in what you expected and what you have, what you're facing with, or the current situation. The next step is find out the causes. Why is it necessary to find out the causes? Because if you don't actually get down to the actual cause, then you may overlook something that is progressively happening.
Yes.
And will have more impact on your business as time goes on. Or you could even be addressing a cause that is not really the cause. Maybe it is a symptom, or maybe it's only part of it. So maybe it's not the root cause. So it's time to think about why. Why are you in the situation that you are in? Because there could be various factors, but you need to find out exactly which one it was. If you know what the cause was, then you can either work with it, or you can change strategy to avoid it, or you can build it into your business, maybe price it at a higher price. If there's a challenge in getting a certain stock item or a certain input material, maybe it's time to reprice your product so that you can take into account, or you can get a better return from it if it is not available, that much available. So there could be external causes such as customer demand. Maybe the customer demand is actually shifting. So it's good to know what is happening in customer demand. And you only start trying to find it out when you know that there's a gap. That is why this whole exercise is important. You start to find out whether the customers' preferences have shifted
Yes.
at this time, so that by the end of the year or towards the end of the year, you're working with that change, or you're guiding your business to work with that change, or in fact to exploit that change. There could be increases or reduction in the competition.
Yeah.
Maybe competition is increasing. So it's a good thing to know who are the competitors. Why is competition increasing? Are you not being competitive? What is the reason why you are seeing a gap between what you intended to achieve with what you are achieving? So that could be an external factor, that is competition. We all operate in a competitive situation.
Absolutely.
Markets are usually competitive. So changes in your prices. So, or the prices from competitors. Maybe competitors are pricing themselves lower, or pricing themselves in a way that is affecting your ability to sell or to move your inventory. So that is another external factor. There could also be supplier unreliability. If your supplier is unreliable, are there others? Are they the ones who are causing you to miss having the stock at the right time?
Mm-hmm.
When you had a customer asking for that stock item,
Mm-hmm.
or that range of inventory. So knowing that is important. Knowing that there's a problem with a supplier or suppliers in that area is important, because you can do something about it. In the next coming months of the year, you can do something about it, work with it, or in fact, you could start producing. Maybe you could start producing that input. You could start making it yourself, or just using somebody or engaging somebody who can make it happen, who can put it together and make it available for you in the business, in your stock, so you are never running out. That's another reaction that you could take, or rather another strategy you could take. If there is a problem with suppliers.
Yes.
There could also be internal reasons. Internal reasons why you are not achieving what you expected in terms of stock. Like in the case of being out of stock, it could be an internal reason. So it's time to be very factual. You need to call a spade a spade. Are you not ordering the stock items on time? Is the process through which you buy things, you buy inventory, does it have a problem? Are you ordering late? If suppliers are now requiring a longer time period, are you now ordering much earlier or at an earlier point than before? So setting yourself up so that you can get supply, or so that you can meet customer orders.
Mm-hmm.
So preparing, could that be the problem? Let's be functional. Let's be factual. Are you purchasing on time? Also, stock record keeping. Are you keeping your records up to date? Are you getting the information on what is about to run out? The stock situation, what is running out? Do you have some way which is effective in telling you what is about to run out, so that you buy and you don't run out? You don't have a gap. Also, overstocking. It could be you're now buying, or the level at which you're buying is higher than should be for this time, or for this year. You may find out that you're buying at a higher level than necessary, or maybe you are understocking. If, for instance, it's taking longer to get the supplies, then it's time to think about, are you able to buy the right volume so that you don't run out? So also, another internal potential cause is wastage. Could there be wastages happening? Is there leakages? Is there shrinkages? Is there damage happening to your stocks? Or even stock going bad? Is stock going bad? So that is an internal area to deal with. So if your stock level or value is reducing through wastages or through theft, this is a good time to find out, is it happening? And how can you stop it? How can you put it in check? Also, maybe that difference between what you had planned and what you are now facing is maybe because of the way you are estimating. So your method of estimating, maybe it's time to review the method of estimating. Maybe you are estimating at a level that could not be achieved. So maybe it's time to revise. How do you estimate? How do you forecast and estimate how much you should be selling? Is it the right or the best method? Or are you using a method which gives you an unrealistic estimate of where you should be or what you need to aim for? So these are the things that constitute that give you a reason to act. You have the gap. Now you have seen why. So before we go to the next step, we have a question for you.
Yes. And before you even ask the question, someone has commented here in the live chat. My problem is no business. So we'd want to hear more from you. When you say your problem is no business, do you mean no sales, or do you mean you do not have a business? You clarify your question a bit so that we can get to hear from you. Yes.
I think
we were running a poll on which challenge affects your business most. So someone commented and said, my problem is no business.
Yes, that is sales are down. Yes.
Yes.
And it's important that you have taken the trouble to see what is happening to your business. And the next question is, where is the demand? Are you able to follow the demand? Then you can have at least some sales happening. Or are you saying that, or are you seeing that the whole economy, it can't be? There must be something you can do. But if there is no business, I'm sure you're talking about there is no sales. There could be external factors responsible for that. Maybe maybe the money available, the purchasing power could be an issue. But what I would suggest is to try and develop a new strategy for operating within this environment of no business, as you call it. I'll ask yourself, what can you do? What can you do? What are you going to do when the business environment is challenging? So keep on challenging yourself and try to find out, is there a way? Can you partner? Can you go into a new area? Or can you start developing something that will be in demand? Can you start investigating what is still in demand? Even if the area of your business seems to have low demand at this time, which is the area that has more potential or actual demand? That might be what you should be trying to work towards. But above all, you need to hold on. You need to hold on. Maybe this is just a very temporary thing in your business. I don't know what business you do. Maybe this is a very temporary thing. But do please try and manage your costs. Do please keep being innovative. think of what else you can do in this time, and it may be thinking, what we say, thinking out of the box. You may think out of the box. This might be the right time to think, what can you do in this environment? Or you might have had some earlier suggestions, earlier thoughts in your mind as to what you could do. Maybe some of those ideas, this is the right time for them. But also see what else you can do to contain the situation. The best way to do that is to think about what else you can do. You have the business, the way you have set it up. What else can the business do in this time that you say that there is no business? Can you start something else like adds value? Can you start maybe attracting another kind of customer base, which can use your products in another way, maybe a prepared way? Can you add value to some of what you do and see if you'll be able to sell maybe what you have prepared in another way, or assembled in another way, or in conjunction with something else? Maybe this is a kind of innovation that you need to consider at this time. Yes, all businesses do go through challenging times, but if you as the entrepreneur, if you're keeping on thinking, what can you do in this environment? Keep on moving, thinking, and you might come out better and stronger as things improve. You might find that you introduced some activities or some lines that will leave you even better off, better, stronger, and better if and when things change. Or it might be a time to start thinking of a change, maybe a slight change into a new direction, which involves where your resources and the resources you have can be applied and can still find market. So the question is, where and what can I do when business is down, or when, as you say, there's no business?
Yes. Okay, I hope your question is answered. Share with us more questions, more thoughts in the live chat. Thank you, Patrick, for that answer. It was so detailed and to the point. And here is now a question to us viewers and as business owners. Which internal cause or external cause has affected your stock performance the most this year? Which internal cause or external cause has affected your stock performance most this year? And we have covered the internal causes and the external causes. So I'll mention them briefly. We have customer demand, increase or reduction in competition, changes in your prices or competitor prices, supplier unreliability, poor purchasing decisions, poor stock recording practices, overstocking or understocking, wastage, theft or stock losses, and lastly, we have poor method of stock forecasting. So we hope you're also noting something down that this is going to help you even years to come in your business.
Yes.
And we're going to cover the you want to mention something?
No, just go ahead.
Okay. So we are going to go to step number 3, adjusting for the rest of 2026. And Patrick is going to tell us, is it just 2026 or this applies to even the years to come?
Well, yes, the truth is this year is relevant, but even other years, as you enter other years,
Yes.
if you find out how to deal with this year, just 1 year at a time, you'll be better and better for the next year and the year after. So it's not only this year, but do something this year. Take this opportunity to do something this year. You know the gap, the areas you didn't achieve your targets. You know the causes. So now the next step is the actions to do, to take, to do things, what you must do, or what steps you must take. Well, the thing I would like to suggest is always do something. Don't ignore, don't stay without taking action. If you don't take action, find out what action you can take. In fact, that person who said there's no business, what I've given is some ideas on how to do something. So do take some action. For instance, if you find that you've got slow moving stock or even dead stock or unmarketable stock because the market has shifted, then it's time to find out how to reduce that dead stock or that unmarketable stock. Don't stay without doing something about it, or don't postpone, don't procrastinate that you'll address this matter later on. Find the courage to take some action now to reduce the prices or to repurpose that dead stock, because any money that you're able to get out of that dead stock now, I can assure you, you will use that money in a better way. You'll be less likely to buy something that will become dead stock. Definitely, you will not buy something that is no longer in demand. So that is why it is important to do something. You already have information that is guiding you. You have the reasons to do certain things and not others. So do please take action. So dead stock is particularly troublesome because many, especially retail businesses, have a lot of stock items. So the dead stock is nearly always there. It's always there. In fact, in some cases, dead stock could be something that hasn't sold in 3 months, not just 6 months, 3 months, which is a good sort of benchmark that if a product hasn't sold or even been requested in the last 3 months, you could consider this one is so slow that you're going to even call it dead stock. So it gives you a chance to do something about dead stock. There are options: repurposing, selling at a discount, or even bundling it with something else to make sure it moves out and frees up your space and your working capital. Okay, investing or increasing your investment in fast moving products. That is an important action to take. If you have already seen the market has moved, to what area, to what range of products has it moved to? So the action to take is to find a way of investing more in those higher or in demand items. So that is an action to take. Don't get past, don't get left by the wave. The wave is waiting, is not going to wait for you. The wave needs that person who is quick, that business owner who is quick to invest in what is in demand. Also, if you found you had an internal problem for restocking, maybe the slowness with which you restock, it's time to take action. Improve the way you identify what needs to be restocked and how to narrow down on how much is needed, how many items are needed, and how to order on time so that you don't stay out of stock. So even reminders, you should set reminders in your business to remind you something is going out of stock so that you don't get late in restocking. Decide which supplier you're going to deal with. Maybe there are suppliers who you should no longer be dealing with, either because of the reliability or the pricing, the price of the inputs or the stock that they sell to you, or even the terms. The terms may be challenging, or even the challenges of actually getting that stock may not be a supplier's problem, but the challenges, the distribution method or delivery process may be so challenging that you may have to think of a different supplier. So decide, are you going to stay with these suppliers, or will you try and look for others? Or are there others that you know maybe it's time to deal with them? If you are staying with a supplier that is now charging you so much, it's time to move on. Move on to another supplier. Go and negotiate. Go and talk with the new potential supplier. Explain that you would want to buy a certain amount. What is the best price they can sell it to you at? Delivery. Will they deliver? You want it delivered. It's time to renegotiate with new suppliers. So that is an action that may be ripe for implementation right now.
Yes.
Of course, if the restocking problem or process in your business is so problematic, or the way you handle stock is so problematic, the way you count stock or don't count stock is so problematic, it's time to develop a new internal system. How you order, how you record, how you store stock. Do a workflow. Start with a workflow. What is the process like? And then as you map that workflow, you can start seeing where are the places where you need to pay attention. Otherwise, you may lose something, or you may forget, or something may not be at the right place when you need it for selling. So the workflow of stock management, this could be your opportunity. So it is time for you to set your new workflow of managing stock, so that as time goes on, you're working more efficiently, you never lack, or people don't say, we don't know, we can't find it, or you don't have to tell people, look, call me later and I'll find out. And you see that could be a loss to you. That could be a sale that was lost to you. So map out the workflow in an efficient way, and then create controls so that you don't lose stock, the stock doesn't get damaged, or information is not lost. The information is trackable. You can see the information readily. When a stock moves out, when a stock item moves in, you can see the update in real time. Okay, then also update your stock management plan itself. So if your performance was so different from the plan that you had set out, maybe it's time to replan. Start a new stock management or stock performance plan, so that towards the end of the year, you're working with something realistic. You are working with achievements that are possible. You're working with a benchmark that is feasible, and you're more likely to achieve the goal that you are setting out between now and the end of the year. So never feel that you have to stick to the same old plan. The same old plan may not be relevant completely. Maybe things have changed so much that that plan is actually not relevant. So give yourself a chance to replan. And the more you learn how to replan, the more you realize it makes sense. It's not that hard, and it's much more useful to have a plan that is achievable than a plan that is not achievable. So it's the business owner has a lot of options, but you need to do something. You need to do something. You will find that you're getting stronger and stronger, better and better, and you are able to scale to new heights with your business.
Thank you. And now we're going to look at, we're going to have a question here. What is one change you plan to make after today's discussion? We have covered 3 steps on how to review your stock management performance and stock performance and management plans, and we have covered it fully. So, what change are you going to make after today's discussion? You can share with us, or you can choose to write down in your notebook, and please make that change for your business to improve in the way it is operating. We're going to look at systems, digital systems, and why they help and where they help in the context of stock performance and management in our businesses.
Yes, One of the changes that you should consider, especially if you want to have data more readily available, you want efficiency in the management of stock, and you want to be able to have information you can use quickly to make decisions faster, we are suggesting one of the ways to do that is to go digital. That is to have the help of a digital system. Our business provides a stock management technology which can give you all that data at the touch of a screen or a button.
Yes.
Actually, touch of a screen.
Yes.
So you can have all this information, and actually it is processing it in real time, and it's updating in real time. Why do we say that? Because this is a lot of information. I talked about a shop or a business that has, say, 2,000 or 5,000 or even 50,000 stock items. Or even if you want to manage your business, which has 500 stock items or 200 stock items, if you want to manage them efficiently, the help of a digital system is something you should consider, because the digital system has been designed to process a lot more data. And if you want to have data that is clear, you can defend it, it is reliable, then we suggest going digital in that area of stock management. Why do I say that? You can get so much information. A lot of it can be in real time. Whenever you sell something, the stock situation has been updated. Whenever you change a price, the gross profit is updated automatically. Whenever you're about to run out of stock, you can set the reminder date for reordering. Whenever you come close or onto that date, those number of days of stock remaining, you get a reminder. Also, when it comes to doing a physical stock count, it is much easier to write or to actually do the physical stock take and upload that data, even if it is manually, into the system. And the system from there on updates. It updates everywhere. Other things that BORESHAbiZ will do for you, it will optimize your stock management process. It will give you advice on what is the ideal proportion of each stock item, the mix of stock items. What is the ideal one? And it will always tell you what is the dead stock. It will be available. You can see it immediately. And it will also give you ideas on what suggestions on how to act on that dead stock. So I talked about discounts, selling at a discount. I talked about bundling. I even talked about repurposing. These are the suggestions you get from BORESHAbiZ, and it will give you the suggestions on time so that you can think about it even overnight. Next morning, you want to implement the idea that has been given to you. So we use technology. We also use AI to help you with your stock management and give you the best possible scenario, the best possible suggestion for you to implement. So BORESHAbiZ is at web.boreshabiz.com.
Yes.
Get our web app. Also available on mobile app. In the Play Store, you will find BORESHAbiZ over there in the Play Store. So this is how you help your business. You get a system that will help you to make better decisions on time, faster, and be able to achieve your goals towards between now and the end of next year or this year. And then you start the year stronger. The next year, you start much stronger, much more capable, much better resourced in terms of the technology. So welcome to BORESHAbiZ. It's very affordable. And before I now close, let's go back through the main points.
Mm-hmm.
The main points that we've covered today is one, we hope you had a plan for managing and reviewing your stock. So the middle part of the year, which is where we are now, is a good time to see how you have performed compared to what you had proposed to achieve. So this is a good time. Don't let it pass. If you let it pass, you get more busy again, and then soon you're at the end of the year and you've not been able to make any changes during the year. You just went on and on and on, maybe carrying some inefficiencies, maybe just increasing the dead stock without being able to identify that that problem was there and knowing how to deal with it. Or maybe you are moving fast but not knowing the value of your stock. So you couldn't take some steps to either manage that stock more efficiently. It's maybe tying up too much cash, or maybe it's turning around too slowly. So we looked at the gap between your plan and where you are now. Then from there, we looked at what are the causes. We talked about the causes. It's good to find out the cause of why you are where you are. What is the cause? What is the factor? What is the reason? Is it an external reason? Is it an internal reason? Is it something you can do? But whether it's external or internal, there is something you can do. So the next thing we talked about was taking action. Don't miss the step of taking action. Do not procrastinate. Make a decision. You're going to steer the business in line with that changed market demand, or you're going to steer the business away from products that are no longer in demand, or you're going to steer the business in a way that it is capturing more of the market opportunities. And the whole stock, the entire stock, is more relevant. It's also turning around faster and generating you profit more regularly than the one where you have been, and where there might have been slower moving stock, maybe dead stock, and maybe just opportunities that you are not able to grab because you could not take these steps that we are suggesting. We also talked about where systems help you, especially digital systems. We talked about BORESHAbiZ, specifically designed for you to get more of this stock management information, for you to have a platform where you can reliably record your stocks instead of doing it manually, and which can process data and give you suggestions. It actually gives you suggestions on what to do. So we recommend BORESHAbiZ. You'll be able to make to keep your data more current.
Yes.
You'll be able to see the analysis, the calculations. You'll be able to even get suggestions which are generated for you. So that is what we had for you today. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
If you are a retailer, I'm sure this touched on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you also do other things like you're adding value to products, so you still have stock, maybe you have stock of ingredients, you have stock of packaging materials and things like that. There are things that need thinking through. Are you still holding the right stock material,
Mm-hmm.
the right input material,
Yes.
or the products for that input material are going out of business? What do you do with the inventory or the stock that was designed or was an ingredient for that finished product, which is now no longer in demand? So all these are areas that will help you, even if you are not retailing and you're producing a product. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Yes, and we do this very often.
Mm-hmm.
We will again notify you of our next live,
Yes.
but our videos are all there.
Mm-hmm.
We can give you the website
Yes.
or the link.
Mm-hmm. So we have the videos on our YouTube channel, We also have blog articles on our website.
Yes.
So on our website, it's www.haveagobusinesssystems.com. That is our website. We also have the blogs inside there. It's blog.haveagobusinesssystems.com. So you can navigate through, see more about us, read our articles, and you're going to improve your business. As you've heard from Patrick, don't stay without doing anything. Don't do nothing. Do something for your business. And thank you for joining us, joining this session today. We so much appreciate. So see you next 4th of August. That is next week, part 1 on Tuesday from 3 p.m. And we will continue. We'll be talking about net cash available.
Yep.
So that will be the next thing, or the next plan we'll be reviewing in our business review series. Thank you so much. Don't miss that session. It will be the last on the review series. Then you're going to give you a very, very wonderful topic. You do not want to miss the big news. So see you then.
Bye.